Hey guys, I have a lot of people ask me how I ring bound my 100 Days of Bible Promises. We're about to start the new 100 Days of Grace and Gratitude, and I'm going to go ahead and ring bind this one and show you guys how it's done. So the book comes like this, and just in normal book form. And so my husband's going to help me, and we are going to go ahead and bind this with some rings. First thing we did was put down a glass cutting board by We Are Memory Keepers. This was just to protect our surface. Then we took a really sharp blade, we used a box blade, and we cut the front and the back cover off. And then we took the spine and just slowly peeled that part off. As you can see, we're going to hold on to this to be used at a later time. Then we remove the string that goes between the pages. I'll also use this for something else probably later. We worked the pages just a little bit so that we could get close to the very middle. Took a metal ruler and put it right along the edge so that we could have a strong, straight edge to cut along. And we just slowly cut section at a time. The most important thing is to have a really sharp blade and a really strong, steady grip. My husband was a huge help for this. So we just cut a little section at a time, and cleaned up the edges. We did cut so close to the binding that we had a little bit of glue left on the edges of some of the pages. So you'll kind of see us cleaning that up. It wasn't a problem. Once we got everything apart, we were able to take care of that. But we did want to get as close to the very middle binding as possible, so we did leave a little bit of glue on the edges. This part took a little teamwork. It's good to have a couple extra hands. I held on tight to the page while he cut. That allowed us to cut more pages at a time. We took a standard hole punch and readjusted the holes so that they would match to the pages. These pages are smaller than a standard sheet of paper. I knew that I wanted to have 3 holes, one in the middle, one at the top, and one at the bottom, so that I could attach cards and things in with 2 of the rings. The Project Life cards or any 4x6 card fit great into this if you ring bind it with 3 rings. You can easily attach a piece of paper in a card or whatever with 2 of the rings to keep it steady. So I'm just flipping through and checking the pages just to make sure that everything's separated, nothing's gotten stuck together. And any of the pieces that are still stuck together with a little bit of glue, we went ahead and just kind of separated there. But everything looks pretty good. Once we stacked everything together, we started working on punching the holes. We used a clamp onto the hole punch to give us a straight edge of where we wanted the page to go to make sure everything would line up properly. You can easily just stick a little piece of tape down to give you an edge, but we just wanted to make sure that all the pages were being punched in the exact same spot. So I made sure everything was straight. My husband pushed the punch down because he has a better grip than I do, and it allowed us to do more pages at a time. This entire process took about 35 to 40 minutes, so not too bad. Once we cut all the pages and had all the holes punched in them, we took the front and the back cover. And the front and back cover is a little bit more tricky because it's a little bit larger than the pages, so we had to adjust our clamp on the hole punch so that we would have just a little bit of space at the top and the bottom of the cover. So we just took one of the sheets that we had already punched to kind of show us where we need to be. I took 1.5-inch rings on to the binder. That is too large for now, but I will grow into them. Later on, I did switch them down to 1 inch, and then I'll switch back up to the 1.5. But you can use either size, whatever works best for you. This is a recap of the supplies that I used to ring bind my Grace and Gratitude 100 Days Devotional Journal by Shauna Noel. So what I used is we will, of course, purchase the book for about $16.99, and I bought the rings. They come at Hobby Lobby like this. It's $2.99 for the pack. These are 1.5-inch rings. This one is 1.5, and then I put 1 inch here. I'm gonna get some more 1-inch rings. On my last one, the 1 inch held out for me about halfway through, and then I had to switch to the 1.5 because I add so much stuff into it. But I used one of my small 1-inch rings to add these ribbons and things to attach. So I was 1 ring short. So I'm gonna get some more, but you can go either 1.5 or 1 inch, whichever you want to do. You will probably need to switch up to the 1.5 at some point if you add much into it. So we used that, and what I had left over from the book, I never put these pages in there, the to from, and then the ones that are like the front and the back. I use these for scrap, for punching tabs and things like that, or just testing out different inks to see what goes through. So I'll hold these to the side. I had the spine left over here. Last time when I did the 100 Days of Bible Promises, I took the spine and I made it into a bookmark. That's an option that you can do. I don't know if I'll do that again this time, but I kept it just in case. And then also the string that goes in, I kept that little ribbon, and I might end up tying it onto this. But those are the pieces that are left over, so you don't have a whole lot of waste doing this. You need to have a really sharp, we use this little blade, just like a box blade. Just the most important thing is you need a strong grip and a really sharp blade. Just be really careful doing that. And then we used this metal ruler to give us a straight edge. Last time we did this on the 100 Days of Bible Promises, I used a wooden ruler, and it because of how we were doing, we ended up like actually cutting into the ruler a little bit. So we needed the metal one to do this better, so we used that. And then I have this We Are Memory Keepers, just a glass cutting board. We did use that too. And then we moved the holes around on this hole punch so that I can make things easier this time around. Last time I did this, I actually used a single hole punch and did it one at a time and tried to line everything up. So it was a lot harder. It went a lot smoother this time than it did last time. It took us a total of about 35 to 40 minutes to do this from start to finish. And it's totally worth it. It'll be worth it when right now it looks so little, but I know that it's gonna be super chunky, and I'm not even done with this one yet. This is 100 Days of Bible Promises. I'm on day 80 out of 100 in this, and you can see the growth on this. On this one, I tied the ribbons on each ring, and that's an option too, but I just wanted to switch it up a little bit for this one, so that's why I made this little attachment with the cross and the ribbons, and I just want to kind of put it at the top here. So that's just some information about the supplies that were used in order to ring bind this, and I highly suggest it. It's not something you have to do. A lot of people coil bind or just leave it as is, but for the way that I like to use the book, I like to add in extra things like little cards like this. And I can actually like punch this and attach it just right here with 2 rings on the inside, and then write more notes. And just for the way that I use this book, it just works so much better to have it ring bound. So I hope that's some good information for you. If you have any questions, you can let me know. I'll put some links down in the description to where you can get some of these supplies, and thanks for watching.